You're just in time to meet our performer for the day. Born in South Africa, Eden Michelle is a classically trained musician who grew up in the Netherlands and is dominating the dance charts under the name EGGSTA. She's making her appearance in 2021 with her latest single, BAE, featuring one of our good friends, Lee Cole, and she's joining Expresso this morning to tell us all about it. Please, can we give her a warm feel-good welcome, everybody?
Thank you so much for having me.
So good to have you. I have so many questions for you, but the name EGGSTA, very unique name. Where does it come from?
So when I was younger, my brother, his nickname for me was Eggy, and then often he called me Rockstar. So I think the one day he just kind of combined the two and called me EGGSTA. And when I started going more into the electronic dance music scene, he suggested that that would be the name that I call myself when I perform as a DJ. And I think it just worked. Like I liked how it sounded, especially in the EDM scene. You got all the guys like Skrillex, Zed, everything. So it's become a whole brand in itself, which is super exciting.
And you are a rock star. I mean, with a name like that, you certainly are up there. But your journey was a different one. You started out at 6 years old, being classically trained in piano, an evolution of music. You did EDM, you did everything. How would you describe your sound now?
So now it's definitely electronic. I try and incorporate quite a lot of vocal elements into my songs. So in the drops, I bring a lot of vocals into that to give it quite a distinct sound. But it's definitely evolved from classical into pop rock into dance music. So
definitely an evolution of music. You have a brand new album called Broken Truth. What is the inspiration behind this album?
So Broken Truth was the album that I did when I was 16. It was a debut album. And the inspiration behind that was kind of the things that I was feeling as a young teen and acting as if I knew what the world was about. But yeah, so that was released when I was 16, but now I'm working on singles, which are more in dance.
Talking about that single is You and I, also has a very a unique background, which is definitely influenced by the classical piano. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so You and I wrote while I was living in London. I immigrated to London, and originally it was actually everything I kind of start acoustically. So I'll write it on piano, I'll write it on guitar. And then with You and I turned it into a dance track. But what I've found is people actually really enjoy the acoustic version of it. So I've been fortunate enough to do tours where I've just performed with me in a piano. And people seem to really like the acoustic version of it, so.
Yeah, I think acoustic version lends that to feeling that emotion with the artist and just being able to relay the message in the song. You've also, like I said, been able to collaborate with a good friend of ours, Lee Cole. He is a phenomenal artist. I mean, he's just been starting up so much in the space, in the industry that he's been in. What was it like having him on one of the tracks as well?
I admire Lee so much. I think he's done such an incredible job independently, and he's a very hard worker. It was so easy working with him. I actually sent him a voice note last night saying, "You're just such a pleasure to work with." Everything flowed, got him in studio, he tracked the vocals literally in one take. It was just fun. Every time I'm getting him to get involved in something, he's always down to do it. So he's so great. And it's such an honor to have someone that's really taking the SA music scene by storm at the moment, to be a part of the first single that I put out in South Africa. So.
Which is called BAE, by the way.
BAE.
Is Lee BAE or is there another BAE? I just asking.
Lee's not BAE, but in the song, Lee's BAE.
Oh, okay, Lee's BAE. What can people still expect from you? Because I mean, like you said, you've been all over. You've been in the Netherlands. Now you're back in South Africa. Obviously, reintroducing your sound and reintroducing yourself. What can people expect from you?
So I have very big goals and quite a lot of ambition to achieve quite a lot. For the next couple of years, I'm planning a few tours. I think it's important to get out there, especially after COVID. We're all dying to just get back out on the road. So I'm planning a US and Canadian tour for next year. But in the meantime, just enjoying being in South Africa, enjoying being here with you, these type of things. And yeah, loving putting BAE out there and seeing how people are enjoying it.
I love that, putting BAE out there. A lot of singles. Is there going to be an album coming out soon? Is that on the cards as well?
I definitely think that that'll be something that I'll plan for the future. I worked last year quite extensively and kind of took the COVID time to instead of be upset about the fact that we couldn't perform, I delved into being in studio, and I recorded 30 singles. So I've got a lot of content now to be able to put out for the next 2 years, but I definitely think within the next 2 to 3 years, an album will be in the making, if not sooner.
I'm sure your brother's so proud knowing that he gave you this name, but EGGSTA, so good to have you with us. We can't wait for you to perform 2 amazing songs for us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we've got EGGSTA with us for performances throughout this morning, so you better keep it locked to your Feel Good Breakfast show.